All right, so I'm going to walk you through how to get in and set up a Google Plus account so you can get on Google Hangouts on air. That's a big difference between on air and just video. Video, yeah, you can connect, but it doesn't automatically record and upload to your YouTube channel. And just in case we haven't done this yet, I'm going to also show you how to get on YouTube and make sure you set yourself up for a longer recording time than 15 minutes. It's defaulted to public for 15, but if you're an educator and you verify yourself, you can do unlimited recording, which is very important, especially when you're recording your interactive classroom lessons. So the first thing you have to do is you have to log in to your Google Plus. I don't know why my waffle's not popping up, but normally there's a waffle there. You click on the new G+. You're not, yeah, for some reason it's holding you back. I don't know why. But if it's the first time you've ever signed into Google+, you need to only put in your first name and last name. And since you're using your school account, your first name and last name should already appear. Then you need to put in your gender. And then you need to put in your birthday. So your month and day, I mean, you know, if you don't want to put in your real birthday, don't worry about it. But just don't put in something like 1910. So then you'll kind of put up some red flags of like, wow, we got some older people in here. And then you just hit upgrade. And then it says you're about to join in, blah, 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 blah. You go, oh, no, upgrade. Proceed anyway. And now it's going to ask you, do you want to do this? Just no. You don't want to add friends. You don't want to add people, right? I mean, Google Plus was meant to be a social media site, and it just didn't go. I mean, you guys all hear that one joke, right? It's if you want your friends and family to know what's going on, put it on Facebook. If you want your professional friends or your colleagues to know what's going on, put it on Twitter. If you don't want anybody to know what's going on, put it on Google+. That's what they normally say. I'm just going to hit continue anyway. I don't want to put a picture or anything. If you do, go right ahead. Okay, so now we're in. So we're going to pause right there. That's just to set up our Google Plus page. That's to make sure we have that. You need that to get on your Google Hangouts. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our YouTube channel. So here's our YouTube channel. And you know that you're logged in because you have your circle right up there in the corner. And if you click on it, it has your GAF account name. So I just made up a fake GAF account because my GAF account is already set up. So I can't reset up. So I made a fake one. So it's fpuclass@altasierra.org. And then one side you have the Creator Studio, which is where you do all your annotations and everything that I showed you in the previous class. But for this time, we're going to go to the cogwheel. The cogwheel right up to the side, that's our YouTube settings. So I'm going to click on that. And then we're going to create a channel. Since we've already uploaded stuff in this class, you should already have a channel. But if you don't have a channel, this is your landing spot of your recorded videos. It'll automatically land here. So I'm going to go ahead and create a channel just by clicking on it. I'm going to click OK. And now my channel is made. We've already uploaded videos to YouTube, so you should already have a landing spot. So this step shouldn't be new to you. I'm going to go back to my settings using the cogwheel again. And now I'm going to come down here to View Additional Features. View Additional Features. That's where I'm going to go.
Joe.
Yes.
Okay, YouTube, so it'll be
Yep. So I'm going to go. Let me go through it again. So if we're just on, oh, have you seen this? This is awesome. This is the new Mario Brothers that came out. It's you build your own Mario game.
Son is just
We're going to be doing this with GameStar Mechanic. But it's not Mario, but it's exactly like this, and it's free for the kids. And so we're going to learn about how to use that for book reports instead of actually writing, and for quiz reviews instead of actually taking quizzes.
That's saved on your...
But I love this. This is new that's coming out. Okay, anyways, so this is YouTube. Just here, we're going to go to our circle, and then your settings, which is the cogwheel right there. So once again, we're just on YouTube.com. I click on our circle guy, and I come down here to the settings. And then in the settings is where we clicked on Add Channel. But now we're going to come right down here to where it says View Additional Features. View Additional Features. I click right there. Here, YouTube is telling you everything that you are. Okay, right now, we know we're not verified, but we'll get there in a second. Here means you're in good standing. Nobody has said anything bad about you. Here means your copyright is in good standing. I've hit the red once or twice. And if you do hit the red, they ban you from uploading anything for 6 months unless you write them a letter apologizing. And then the reason I got banned because I record my lessons and I play short little clips from videos to prove a point, and it may be copyrighted. But since I'm doing it on air, that's considered unauthorized broadcasting of a thing, and so they catch you. So just watch out for that.
So that's interesting because so if you're recording your lesson and then you have something that the students are going to watch and it's a video clip that it's not yours, would that be? Yeah,
you just have. So I'll tell you the ones that have always been flagged for me. Okay. Anything Disney, anything Fox. That's it. Yeah. So yeah, so anything Disney, like Frozen. When I talked about States of Matter and the snowman melts. We talk about a changing state of matter, and so we watched that. That was flagged. And then anything Simpsons. So in the Simpsons movie, it shows him in a motorcycle, and he's going around the ball of death. Yes, so we talk about acceleration, and how Lisa says, Dad, don't slow down, speed up. And what she's really saying is, Dad, you have to accelerate through the turns because you always have to accelerate in order. And so that's what she's really saying to him. But it got flagged by YouTube because it's Fox. But everything else has been able to skate on through. But this is what we want to come down to, longer videos. If that is not green and it says enable, that means you need to click on enable. And to enable it, when you click on it, it asks you to verify your account. And it does that either by calling you with an automated voice or a text. I always recommend doing the text because you get it quickly. And a lot of teachers say, well, I don't feel comfortable giving Google my phone number. Tell them they already have your phone number. They're just verifying that you are who you say you are by double checking your phone number. So they already have it. And so when you click on it, you type in your phone number right down here, area code first, and then they will send you a verification code. Now I can't put my phone number in there because I've already used it on 3 accounts, and I'm banned from adding it to any more. So it will say, you've already used this phone number, please try again. And I've already used my wife's a few times. So I can't show you, but as soon as you do, it'll have a little thing like this saying, what's your verification code? You type it in, and then it'll say verified. And as soon as it's verified, you'll look something like this. So let me go to my actual account. And there's my waffle. I don't know why the other one didn't have a waffle. That was strange. So over here, I go to my YouTube. And so once you do that, you'll see that your longer videos is now green, and now you can upload longer than 15 minutes. If you don't do this step, you'll record your lessons and forget how long you're recording, and then all of a sudden it just stops. It doesn't tell you it's stopping, it just stops. And then you'll be like, that was a great lesson. You'll go back, how come it stopped? Because you didn't do this. Now, and remember earlier, I said don't worry about how long your recordings are. Okay, you can always go into YouTube and edit them, or you can go right in and add your choose your own adventure to fast forward them to parts of your lesson. So don't worry that it's a long interactive lesson. Okay? So, but you definitely want to do it for longer than 15 minutes. Now that's there, everything is set up. Now, this is one of the reasons that a lot of teachers go, oh, that's too much work. Because you have to go to Google Plus and make sure that's all set up. Then you have to go to YouTube and make sure that's all set up. Then you got to verify. That's only a one-time thing. It only has to happen once. So just make sure if you're showing teachers how to do this, it only happens once, and maybe just say, here, give it to me, and you do it for them, because they never have to do this again. Now I'm going to show you how to set it up. Any questions first?
So, I mean, it's not essential, but if I can activate my button for longer videos, but it's on,
are you using, which account are you using, the Essential account? It might, Jason might have already had that all set up for you where it's just automatic and long. Yeah, so yeah, they must have already done it for you.
This is my personal account, though.
Oh, it's your personal one? Oh, maybe at one point you already did this. Maybe you went to a YouTube session somewhere and they helped you set up. But I say if it's green, just don't worry about it. If it was red, then we have some problems. All right, so now all we have to do is go to Google+. So in our waffle, we click on it. Here's the G+. I click on it. All this stuff in the middle, don't worry about it. That's nothing. You want to go to the Home button. You're just going to go to the Home button over the top, and you're going to scroll down to where it says Hangouts. Right there. Scroll down to where it says Hangouts. Click on it. And now you're on the Hangout screen. The one everybody uses is Video Hangouts. Okay? What we want to do is Hangouts on Air. Hangouts on Air. So I click on that, and it brings me to the Hangouts on Air landing page. I favorite or bookmark this page, so I don't have to do all that. All I do is click on GHOOA up there for Google Hangouts on Air, and it takes me right to this page. So I don't go through all those steps anymore. I just click and go. So once you are on this page, you're going to click on Create Hangout on Air. And it asks you to give it a name. So whatever the lesson is for that day, that's what you're going to give it a name of. And I do this multiple times per period. Like I'll do starter, number 4, and then I'll record this. And then that's done. Then I'll do quiz review, number 3, and then that's going to be recorded. So I have multiple recordings happening per day so that it's already split up for me. If I didn't want to do that, I could just record the entire 2 hours and go in there and just splice out what I wanted. So completely what you want to do. For me, that just makes it easier because all I have to do is hit end, new one, type it in, boom, now I'm in again. So that's what I do in between when the kids are putting and switching from one thing to the other. So I'm just going to name this FPU test. Here is if you want to tell people or tell the students what it was about, but don't worry about that one. I've always skipped it. You want to do this now, not later. That's if you want to schedule it for like a week from now. Like if you have something important, you want to do like a group hangout. That's if you want to schedule it later. It's always put on as public. If you want to do on air, it has to be public. Now don't worry about it. Nobody will find your channel unless you've given them your channel in YouTube. People are like, well, what if some random person finds it? They're not going to. There's so much stuff on YouTube. You're lost in the shuffle unless you've directed somebody to go there. And then you're going to go ahead and hit share. And hold on. Create Hangout. FPU. Share.
Jeff,
There we go.
Did
Yes.
you go to create a hangout on air or host a hangout on air?
Just create Hangout.
Create,
Yeah,
right?
just create. Because when you create it, you're hosting it. Because you're creating it. When you've done this, it brings you to this page. So this is great because you can have this all set up before the kids even come in. All this is already pre-done. All you have to do is hit start as soon as the kids come in. And it brings up your Hangout on Air page right here. And it tells you, do you want to invite any guests? I'm going to show you how to do that, but I don't invite from this screen. For some reason, sometimes I've invited people and they don't get the invite. So I'm going to go to the one that always gets the invite. So I never invite from this screen because I always get it's hit and miss with this one.
Yeah.
So I just hit skip.
That's what happened with that.
And then notice it defaults to our regular camera. We don't want to do our regular camera. We want to do a screen share. And you'll notice down here it's buffering, so it's already buffering for you, but it's still off air. So it's not live on the air. So if you are going to co-teach with somebody, they can join right now and you can still talk to one another before you hit record, before the lesson is beginning. I do have teachers that I've given headsets to. And so it's just little headsets right here, and they actually have the microphone here, but they also have a speaker here. So they can actually talk to each other through their headsets before it even starts. And so you can have teachers walk around, are you guys ready? Okay. And then as soon as it's done, they change the speaker from the ear speaker to the computer speaker so the kids can start hearing and hear both teachers talk. So they like, and then when their kids are done and getting ready to work, you can flip that speaker back on, and they can talk to each other again from across the way. So it's pretty neat. So you can see it's all done being buffered. You hit there to start broadcast, but down here it's still off the air. And over here is your screen. Okay, this is the screen that becomes very important. The blue one up at the top, the green one up at the top, that is your screen share option. You can share the entire screen or a particular window. So if you're doing like a PowerPoint and you only want to share the PowerPoint because you have other stuff going on, you can definitely do that. Since I always switch around from a lot of different programs and I like them all to be recorded, I always choose entire screen. When you do choose entire screen, you get what's called, well, my teachers call it the Star Wars effect. So you click on that, you click share, and bloop, 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 right? Because it's like a mirror upon a mirror, creating this vast thing. So this is what's being broadcasted if you hit start. But as soon as you drop this window down, it's just sharing your screen. And I'm going to have one of you guys join my Hangout so you can see on your screen what it's actually doing.
So when it says your screen sharing stop, present to everyone, what would be?
Yeah, so if you want your screen to be presented to everybody's screen, so it's not flipping back and forth, right? So if you're like in a conversation, whoever's talking is the one on the screen, this locks it into you. So you are the one presenting to everybody, so it won't do that. So I click on that and it sets it up.
So did you select present to everyone?
Yes, I select present to everyone. And then down here where it says you're sharing the screen, I just hide that. So it goes away. So now my screen is back to normal. I come over here now and I'm going to do a few other things. First, I'm going to go to cameraman. Cameraman double checks to make sure if somebody joins in, you aren't interrupted with their voices, or if somebody joins in, it doesn't switch over to their screen. Even though you click present to everyone, this is like a fail safe. So I'm going to click on that. And this is my options. So the option number one, as guests join, hide their audio and video. I wouldn't recommend that if you're doing the co-teaching thing, because you want the audio. So I click no. Broadcast a large video that I see to my audience and hide other video feeds. Yes. So I click on yes. And then this last one, new guests may join, but after 3 they are muted. You can choose that, but I always want my teachers to be able to talk. So the only one that I ever switch over is that one. So that's the cameraman option. And then this other one is the control room.
So that would stop a lot of the feedback that you get.
Yes.
You get a lot of people on there. That's why you would want to click it.
Absolutely.
If you're not presenting together and one person's presenting but you have a whole bunch of people on and they're just on to watch the screen, then you would mute that so that you don't get their feedback. Is
Yes.
that right?
And so you can do it that way,
Okay.
right? Or you can do it your way. So this is the control room. If you have 8 people joining, you get the option of microphone and video and volume for them.
Right.
So if you have certain people in there you just want watching, you can go in and turn off the microphone and turn off their video. So all they are there as is viewers. So you can always do that. So this is under the control room right here.
Which one was that?
It's the one that looks kind of like a, the sound box right here. Right there. This one is your Google Effects. So if you are doing, so if we turn this off and you choose that, you could be a clown. So this can be a little bit interesting type of thing.
But now magic effect thing comes up every time I'm doing my YouTube videos.
Does it? Yeah, you can, and then if you come down here, you can actually turn apps off and on, right?
Is that magic effects an app?
Yes, it's an app. So if it's not on there right now, then you go to add apps, and you can add more apps to your thing. So I'm going to remove all effects, so I'm not a dog anymore. And so you can always play around with these. I've never done that cuckoo. I don't know what that is. But you can do a couple other things in Hangout. But the key for us is being able to record our screens for our students. present to everyone, hide this, and then at this point we're ready to go. And then all I do to start broadcasting live, and as soon as you hear the ding, you'll hit start broadcast, you'll wait a second, you hear a ding, you're live. And that means YouTube is broadcasting you live and recording you live. So it's gonna be broadcast on your YouTube channel. It's also gonna be posted on your Google Plus channel that you're doing a live broadcast. So if you have a loud voice like myself, you can just be near your computer and it picks it up very well. Or you can get a wireless mic. Planetronics has very good wireless mics, and you can get one that's 2 or 3 years old for like $45-50 now off of eBay. The old ones. If you buy them new, they're like $200. But if you buy like two or three generations ago, it works fine. I like those better than the Bluetooth ones because the Bluetooth, as soon as you walk away more than 50 feet, it degrades rapidly. The Planetronics actually comes with its own little dongle you plug into its own signal, and it's very strong. I can actually go 3 classrooms down, and it still picks up my voice. So if I click Start Broadcast now, go live, it's saying starting, boom, there's the ding. Now we're live on the air, and you'll see down here, live on the air, but once again, this is what's being broadcast. The moment I lower my screen, look, you can see now the background here is now right there. So if I lower this, it's just my screen that's being recorded. Now that's what's being recorded, that's what's being pushed out to everybody. So if I'm presenting a PowerPoint to my class, but also screenshotting it to another classroom, I'm teaching not only myself, but all those kids as well. Now if the other teacher has a microphone headset, he can interject during the lesson and say, you know what, that's a great way of explaining it, but let me explain it another way as well. So now the kids are getting 2 different versions of it. So the co-teaching aspect of this becomes very powerful. We've been doing it at Alta for a while, and the kids seem to enjoy it a lot. Knowing that there's other kids out there that are not in their class really opens them up to the fact that a classroom is not 4 walls. A classroom is a community of people trying to learn and better themselves. Plus, this is for you as the teacher. Because I tell teachers all the time, I know you're just like me. You get to school at 7 o'clock in the morning, maybe even earlier. You don't hardly have time for a bathroom break. You're in your classroom at lunch because kids are coming in for help. 3:15 hits, and you know you have your extracurricular you have to get to. So by the time you get to coaching, or your time to get somewhere, you haven't seen an adult for 8 hours. This allows you to be with an adult during the day. This allows you to show somebody else your style of teaching, at the same time seeing another teacher's style of teaching. We used to do what's called sit-ins, right? So on Mondays we'd have teachers go in, we'd give them a sub, and you'd go in and sit in on another teacher's class in the back. Number one, that's weird for the kids, knowing there's another adult back there just sitting there. And then sometimes it's weird for the teacher because they act differently when they know they're being watched. This way, teachers act like themselves because they're teaching with another teacher, not teaching for another teacher. It's a huge game changer in the teaching community. So what I would like somebody to do right now is I want you to give me your GAF email address, and I'm going to have you join in with me. So let me show you how we do this. Now, to join, I always use the plus person up there. I don't do the beginning one like I showed you. The plus person, that one usually always lets it in. Usually.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
The little person.
Yeah, the little, so like if I,
That's how you invite the people.
yeah, that guy right there. So I'm going to invite somebody. So somebody give me your GAF address. Anybody?
I don't have my GAF email.
Just a regular email. Yeah,
Yes,
it's a regular email.
Oh, yeah, any.
CS Kindle. Oh, with an A.
Oh.
It's Candid.
Wait. C.
Wait,
Yeah.
there you go.
I'm missing an E.
Yo, there's no E in that.
C. S.
E S.
E. S.
No,
E. S.
no, no. Yes, C-A-N.
C-A-N
D-O-N.
D-O-N.
At Central.
Whoop.
C-E-N. Put your Google glasses.
Yeah. Central dot.
No, USD.
Oh.
USD.
Dot K12. Dot CA. Dot US. And there you are. And I see that you're there, so I'm going to click on it. And I'm going to invite you. And now, this is how you'll find the invite. Under your Google Plus, off to the right, there is a Hangout button. If you click on it, you'll see all the people that you have already been in Hangouts with, but you'll also see an invite. So you should see this on yours with me, and if you click on it, you join.
I refreshed it because I didn't see it yet.
No problem.
So Joe, I guess my biggest question is like, once I hear like this will start broadcast, is he gonna record my screen? Is he gonna record me in the classroom?
It's going to record whatever's on here. So if you lower that, it's going to just be your screen.
Okay, if I love like this.
Yeah, see how you're lowering it? It's opening up your screen. It's showing what your screen is. You won't be able to see what you're broadcasting because you're broadcasting.
Okay, but if I lower it, then I'm
That's the one I
broadcasting.
created.
Yes.
You have to get out of
Yes.
that.
I gotta get out of
She's
that.
she created a video
I
call.
created
so
a
it says she's
video.
in a call.
So
Oh,
I need
gotcha.
to get out of this call, right?
Yeah, because you sent it to me.
Alright, how do I get out of this call?
So click start. Should be on now, see if you can reset it.
So when I created, I was following him step by step doing all that stuff.
No, she did the test.
Okay, now it says you're in a video call. Is that you?
No, you would see my face. Let's see. Maybe see, scroll down a little bit and see. Is there anything down here? You have another window open.
Does he have to be your school? I
Yeah, let me
Invite Lisa,
let me
yeah.
invite as many people as I can.
Invite us.
Lisa.
Okay, you can invite me.
Mine's all.
All right, so give me another one.
Okay, educator talk. Oh, sorry, let me go. At gmail.com. There you go.
This call even work. Yeah, like I'm live.
There, see? So join call and then join hangout. And then you'll see at the bottom. And then
It's gonna be me on now?
click on I have agreed. And we'll click on- You can still join and then
I know. Darn.
Okay, guys, join.
That's my plan. This is how it works out for when we go home and do our assignments.
so there she is. Okay, now you get the feedback because you have two people talking, but if we were in different rooms, you wouldn't get the feedback. Now, if I lower this see, so now you see it's
You're talking about minimizing.
minimized.
Lower. Minimize.
When I lower it, that's all you should be seeing. I don't know why your screen didn't lower when mine did. This looks like it's full. Oh,
Yeah, my screen didn't minimize.
There it is.
There it is.
oh, there you go. Yeah, so it looks like yours is just a little bit behind in the video, but yeah, there we go. So I brought it up and I brought it down. So depending on the Wi-Fi speed, it's pretty quick. It's pretty quick. And so whatever I show up here is on yours. And then if you're broadcasting that on a projector, now all the kids get to see it. And so if what I'm saying is, okay, what I want everybody to do, so imagine that you are in your class. I go, what I want everybody to do is I want you to get out your phones and we're going to play Kahoot. I wish Kahoot had single sign-in. So now if I went in here and I actually played a Kahoot, you're getting the same thing on your screen as I'm getting on mine. So now your kids can play along.
I wish F stood for fantastic. Irish kids get to do the grocery shopping. Ew, yuck.
When you wish on a treasure troll, who knows what might happen? Treasure trolls are the only trolls that have a jewel in their tummy that you can wish on. What would you wish for?
Irish cherry cough syrup really tasted like cherry.
Treasure trolls, with a jewel you can wish on. From Ace.
What's on the screen and what's playing, and then she would be coaching to help those students.
I wish F stood for fantastic. Irish kids get to do the grocery shopping. Ew, yuck.
When you wish on a treasure troll, who knows what might happen? Treasure trolls are the only trolls that have a jewel in their tummy that you can wish on. What would you wish for?
Irish cherry cough syrup really tasted like cherry.
Treasure trolls, with a jewel you can wish on. From Ace.
I see them in my Google Classroom, and
I wish F stood for fantastic. Irish kids get to do the grocery shopping. Ew, yuck.
When you wish on a treasure troll, who knows what might happen? Treasure trolls are the only trolls that have a jewel in their tummy that you can wish on. What would you wish for?
Irish cherry cough syrup really tasted like cherry.
Pretty good.
Treasure trolls, with a jewel you can wish on. From Ace.
A delay.
I wish F stood for fantastic. Irish kids get to do the grocery shopping. Ew, yuck.
When you wish on a treasure troll, who knows what might happen? Treasure trolls are the only trolls that have a jewel in their tummy that you can wish on. What would you wish for?
Irish cherry cough syrup really tasted like cherry.
The whole thing of
Treasure trolls, with a jewel you can wish on. From Ace.
So trolls is one of the answers, so we put the troll commercial into it. So pop icons of the 80s and 90s.
into 80s and 90s.
I wish F stood for fantastic. Irish kids get to do the grocery shopping. Ew, yuck.
When you wish on a treasure troll, who knows what might happen? Treasure trolls are the only trolls that have a jewel in their tummy that you can wish on. What would you wish for?
In like walking or anything, but they
Irish
can
cherry cough syrup really tasted like cherry.
Treasure trolls, with a jewel you can wish on. From Ace.
So Joe,
I wish
for our
stood
assignment,
for fantastic. Irish kids get to do the grocery shopping. Ew, yuck.
When you wish on a treasure troll, who knows what might happen? Treasure trolls are the only trolls that have a jewel in their tummy that you can wish on. What would you wish for?
Irish cherry cough syrup really tasted like cherry.
Treasure trolls, with a jewel you can wish on. From Ace.
I wish F stood for fantastic.
Yeah, I did it during my
Irish kids
assessment
get to do the
session.
grocery shopping.
and he gave out the Google Glasses.
When you wish on a treasure troll, who knows what might happen? Treasure trolls are the only trolls that...
I heard absolutely, it's good to start. Okay, so this idea is just a small idea. But when you actually put it into perspective and you realize, wait a minute, I can now teach with another teacher in real time. So 2 teachers for the price of 1. And that's what we always like, is having people to feed off of. It really, and you realize, wait a minute, enhances the classroom. Really.
Also, now I see Cindy. I finally got her. I muted myself.
And then,
Oh,
are you in now?
yeah.
And then if I wanted to, I can do this, watch. I can come into my control room and turn off microphones. And now I won't hear
Also,
your voices.
so for example, you put one on mine.
Yes. So I put a mute on yours, and then a mute on yours. So all that can be heard is me on all of yours.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what the
so
controller.
that's what happens. That you did that with the controller.
Yes, with the controller.
So when people are joining you and they're happy out or something, and you see them, you just mute them.
Yeah. So if
So when you close this down, all I see is your screen,
Yes.
and then you're presenting.
yeah,
your
so
background.
so if I just lower this down, now all you see is my screen. So whatever's on my screen is being presented to you.
Yeah, I can
So
see
if
it. Yeah.
anybody's ever having the problem that I just did, I clicked the down arrow and went to invites. And then when I clicked on invites, that's when I saw
There
it.
it is.
And
Perfect.
that's when I was able to get
Mine was in the little circle that says notifications.
Yeah, that one usually is the one that's
yeah,
the
it's funny,
easiest.
but I'm just saying
But
if
yes,
somebody,
so invites
Oh,
is another good
yeah,
place.
It wasn't the invitation wasn't there.
I don't know why. I got an error message that said
Okay.
Google's working on it or something. So.
Now, this is cool, but then when you incorporate another assessment tool like Nearpod, it really changes the game.
That near.
Have we all used Nearpod in here?
I'm not using it.
You have not used Nearpod?
That
Okay,
is
let me
so
show it
cool.
to you really quick. Okay, and
Really cool.
so
He did a presentation and Wes used to do it. Right?
I'm not using
Some
it.
people have listed it.
I've seen
This
it.
one, it's got a free but also paid thing, right?
Yeah, so-
More people email you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Promote it and then they give you some free stuff.
yeah, so Nearpod, the free version gives you 20 megabytes per presentation, which if you don't do videos, plenty. It gives you
Oh, that's the free version.
The free
and that's the one
version.
you said 30 people only, right?
30 people only, yeah, at a time.
At a time.
At a time. Yeah, so if you have more than 30 kids in your class, what I recommend is you do it in pairs. So you have pairs work together, and then you only need 20 at a time. So that works that way. The gold version, which is the upgraded version, it's like $7 a month or something like that. It's 50 kids at a time, and 40 megabytes per presentation. And then if you can get your school site to purchase educator licenses, they're $95 a year per teacher with 100 students at a time,
That's just
and
very
80 megabytes per presentation. Yeah. So let me show you what our. Oh, hold on. I have the wrong one up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you've never seen it, I just want to show it to you. And what I want you to keep yours up as the projector screen for another class. So go ahead and keep yours up as a projector screen for another class. And then I want you to join as students. Okay? So
you keep this one open, right?
yes, so keep yours open.
Are we going?
So you would go to nearpod.com. And the great thing about Nearpod is it works very well with Google. And so it's single sign-in, so you don't have to create an account. You just go to sign in. Even if you've never signed in before, you go to sign in and just click on the G. It'll automatically sign you in with the same username and password that the district has for your GAF account.
I'm crouching.
So sugar, yeah.
Oh, and I do want you to be aware, is it next week? I think it's next week. Next week I have tickets to see Steve Wozniak speak. And he starts at the Selland Arena, or the Soroyan Theater.
Awesome.
And it starts like at 7. So we might end class a little bit earlier, like an hour earlier. Let me see which week it is though, so I can see.
I ate too much candy.
Now, Nearpod has lessons pre-made, or you can make them yourself. The pre-made ones that are free are from teachers all over the state, but then you have some paid ones that are all Common Core aligned as well. But I don't like paying for things because I figure if you're a teacher, you should give it away for free. So I never pay for anything. I'm going to click on Live Session. And then notice on your screen and on your screen, you have the Live Session code. So you'd be presenting that to your students, and they would type in the code, and then they're acting as students, and they're typing in the live code. The students don't need a Nearpod account, and Nearpod works on any tablet and any phone, and there is Nearpod app, so it makes it work really well.
So what that means is that you can be teaching this lesson to my students, and I have this because I'm having a co-teacher. I can have this on the screen, and my students are doing what you do.
Yes, but here's the even better thing. Yeah, it is on the screen, but Nearpod projects to their device. So look at their devices. Their devices have exactly. So the students not only get my voice coming through to your computer and to the room, but they get to see everything that's happening. Now, the reason that I like it projecting with the video as well is because I like to annotate over my desktop. So I can underline and highlight, and it won't appear on their screen though. I'm working with Nearpod trying to figure out a way how we can do online annotation, so whatever I write goes on theirs as well. So they're looking into that. But for now, you want this projected so that if you do annotations. And Nearpod just integrated with Classroom last Monday. And so all you have to do, kids don't even have to go to Nearpod. You click on Classroom.
Oh, that's cool.
Classroom goes to classroom? Oh.
Nearpod. You click on Classroom. You choose the class you want to send it to. You say, do you want it as an assignment or announcement? I always say announcement.
Why would you say announcement instead of assignment?
Because it's an interactive lesson. So all they have to do is click on it to participate. They're not actually doing anything.
Okay.
And all the assessment is coming from Nearpod. So you don't need to use Classroom for any assessment. And then all I type in is, click here to join our Nearpod session.
Was that shared a classroom or was that just classroom?
So it's just under Nearpod, and you click on the Classroom link. So the one that they showed were you at the Google thing? Yeah, the one that they showed up here, that only shares websites.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that shares any website you're on, it pushes it out. They do have to be logged into their Chrome browser for that to work, though. So you can't just have it on a generic Chrome browser. They have to be logged into their actual Chrome browser.
And they have to have the extension as well.
And they have to have the extension.
And we can't get that on our tablet.
You can't, you sure?
I'll do it.
Yeah? Huh.
Tried it?
Interesting.
So whatever they
But this is good anyways. And then with Nearpod, with Nearpod you can actually push out websites as well. So if you have them here, and I use Nearpod as not just as a like PowerPoint type thing. I use it as my class pacer. And so I'll have my starter of the day on there. They'll answer the questions, and then I'll have an activity. They get up and pair share and move around and talk, and it has a timer on it. Then we go, okay, I want you to visit this website and read it. And it's all in Nearpod the entire day. Hyperlinks? So like a hyperlink to a Google Doc?
No.
Oh, you're talking about in a doc, a hyperlink to another part of the doc?
No, I'm thinking like, I think it's like a hyperdoc where you have like a document, so you have like your Google Doc and it has everything on it. So kind of like what Lisa Heifeld does.
Yeah, so you click on something and it pushes you down.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, like chapters.
you go there, so it's similar is what I was trying to
So yeah, it's kind of like that.
And then,
So
so
if
it
I-
plans your day.
So if I was using it to my first graders, because here's the problem I run into, is I have my presentation on, and then after I'm done, I want them to go to a website, and that's where it slows the whole process.
Everything's through here. And here's
so there, I
It
can
is one
say,
of the
now we're
things
going to go to a website, and I'm pushing it to their
Yep.
tablet.
So watch, and it doesn't even have to be in the lesson stream. You can actually do what's called on the fly. So right now, I was like, you know what? Oh, I forgot. I showed you
Yeah.
Kahoot, but there's a very great other company out there as well. So let me go ahead and show it to you. I'll come down here. I click on web, and I type in www.
I never did any of that. Oh yeah, wait a minute, I forgot.
Now look at your screens.
Well, mine hasn't.
Well, yours won't do it, but their screens, you get it,
Oh, I
and it
see
takes you.
it.
Click on the link, and it should take you right to that website. And oh yeah, you want that. And so if you click on it, boom, see how it took you there? And so it takes you to the website
Wow.
of
That's
quizzes.
Really good.
That is
And if you've never done, and so this is the thing. Instead of saying, okay, we're done with our lesson, get out of Nearpod, go to Kahoot, you
That's
don't do that.
exactly the
You
time.
say, okay, let's Kahoot, and boom, send them to Kahoot. And now watch this. Oh, you guys aren't acting good. Don't worry. You know what? Get out of your Kahoot. Whoops. We're gonna leave Kahoot. You click close, yes, and no matter what they're doing, it takes them out.
That is, yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
that's why you
mine are like, I'm still stay here, and then I'm like,
It takes
I walk
them
around, they're still trying
out.
to squeeze it in.
That's what you mentioned, that this is, you mentioned at the presentation, right? That it's a way to keep your students at a certain pace.
Yes. Yes. And
And so that's the biggest problem I'm having getting my colleagues to jump on, is because they really want to, they see the value in it. However, it's these in between where you're jumping to place, and then
transitions.
the transitions going from the
The
slideshow
transition
to the
period
website,
is-
then an assessment, and they're doing all this hopping in and out, and then that's when sometimes you have some technical issues, some hardware, and they're just like, you know what, it's messing up my pace. They end up ditching it, going back to what is quick and what they're used to.
And this has changed it for me and another science. I have a science teacher, right? And he always talks about back in the day, I was the technology wizard, and I had a computer with the first gigabyte of space. He always talks. He goes, but I got passed over, and I'm out of it. And I sat down with him. Let me show you. I showed him Nearpod. I showed him Classroom. I go, we're going to start here, and let me show you what it can do. And he's like, wow, this is amazing. He has taken control of everything. He goes, I want to make all the Nearpods. I want to get them all done, and then I will share them with you. And so he told me the other day, he goes, I'm back. I feel like I'm back.
This is awesome because I just had a teacher yesterday tell me, I want to do this, but I'd like to keep things in control. And she's a kinder teacher. It's just because things can just fall apart like that. She goes, so it's very important that everything, I'm in control. And I'm kind of like, all right. And I didn't know what to answer with that, right? Now I can come back with your pod.
Well, you know how at the Google Summit they said that Classroom is like the mission control. Absolutely, it's a mission control that way, but then it can also be a mission control to direct you here to be your secondary mission control type of thing. And so it directs them. And what I like about this is when you send them to a website, you have them do. You say you have 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes to do your search. You have 5 minutes, and when 5 minutes is done, you don't go back and talk, and the kids are over there still searching. You click next, and it takes them out. I said, I told you 5 minutes. I meant 5 minutes.
I love
It
that.
takes them out.
I love that.
You
That's
have
what's slowing
complete
me down in my
control
lessons with my
over
kids.
everything. Now, and there's one more thing, and I'm going to show you how this works, and I'm going to show you one more thing. But you can differentiate instruction with this as well, because in Nearpod, you can send to another Nearpod. So you do it like this. So this is a live session,
Yeah.
and instead of live, I could have also selected homework. So live, it's all teacher control, so you pace it and everything. Homework, it's student control. So you can do this. You can teach, and you can you can put multiple choice questions, free response questions, and drawing questions, and you see kids that are falling behind. Okay, So what you do is this. Say you're going to be group A. So I want you guys, you kid, you're going to be A, you're going to be A, you're going to be A, you're going to be A. And tell other kids you're going to be B, you're going to be B, you're going to be B. And then what you do is you put up a slide with already a pre-made homework. And all you do is codes, like the code that I showed you at the beginning. So group A, this is the code you're going to put in when I send you to Nearpod. Group B, this is the code you're going to put in. So the Bs need a little bit extra help. So it sends them to a Nearpod that has more in-depth instructions and more practice problems. A's are the ones that are getting it. You send them to another Nearpod that has a little bit harder problems. And so since you're sending them to it in Nearpod, right, when you want them to come back, you just click next, and it brings them out of that one and back into the main one.
Really?
Yes. So it's complete differentiation, getting the kids that need more help and more practice that time, getting the kids that need to go forward and get a little bit more in-depth stuff, then that's fine. And you give that to them for 15 minutes and bring everybody back to the same point, and then ask a few more general questions to see if it worked. Great differentiation using Nearpod. And look, so as soon as it's quick. It turns, I see everybody's in. We talk about the inner and outer planets. And then there's a quick question, right? So on your screen, you'll have a quiz, and you answer the quizzes. And I notice, see, nobody's, oh, Connie's starting. I can see that she's actually on there getting ready. Okay. But I want you to answer some of these questions just so you can see what happens. As soon as you start answering, the things pop up, and I can see whether you got it right or wrong. And then my circle starts to change color. The yellow means not answered yet. The green means answered correctly. And then the red means incorrect. So I know that so far, 50% have been answered correctly.
Joe, we absolutely love the Nearcode. One of my co-workers used to use it. She says that she actually purchased the license, but our tablets are not working with Nearpod.
They will work with Nearpod. If you have to go through the website, you can go through the website. But there should be an app that's easily downloadable on those tablets.
She was talking about that the app was not working on the tablets.
I have a copy of your tablet, so I will take a look.
Would you take a look
Yes.
at that?
And then, now look, I shared it with you, and now you get a diagram on what you got right and what you got wrong. And then you can scroll up and see which one you got wrong and what the right answer is.
That is so cool.
And then we go, and then we talk about the formation of the solar system, and then a video.
So cool. Have your headphones on.
So and
now, Mr. Bighead on the formation of the solar system, the planetesimal theory versus the nebular theory.
Joe Disaster here to talk about the planetesimal theory. This is the theory that our solar system was created by a violent and sudden event, a catastrophe.
Yes, well, most scientists don't think it happened that way. I'm Mike Methodical, and I prefer the more popular nebular theory, which takes a slower, less dramatic, and more orderly view of how the solar system began.
Yeah, I've heard that theory. But I believe that billions of years ago, a star passed very close to the sun, causing huge tides and eruptions of gaseous materials on the sun's surface. Some of the erupted matter was torn free and began to orbit the sun. When these chunks of matter cooled and condensed, they formed planetesimals. The bigger ones attracted other chunks and grew into planets. The solar system was formed from these major solar eruptions.
Very dramatic, but I'm not buying it. The theory most scientists accept says that a cloud of interstellar gas and dust, a nebula, began to contract and spin, becoming flatter and spreading outward. This process formed our solar system. There was no giant single catastrophic event. The solar system emerged.
Okay, hotshot, how do we get planets if they were chunks of matter that erupted from the sun?
The particles of dust and gas surrounding the sun began to clump together, and those balls formed larger clumps, which eventually evolved into our present-day planets.
Yeah? So what? My theory's got explosions. It's cooler.
But probably less accurate.
Okay, so Go Formative is more of a handout type thing. So if you were going to hand out just a document, right, and it's a PDF, and you want them to have a live document to work on their computer, that's a fantastic thing. And I always use Go Formative for that situation. So I actually incorporate Go Formative with Nearpod when we're doing labs. So what I would do is say, okay, here's the lab procedure, here's the lab we're going to do. Now I shoot them the Go Formative website, they type in the code of the lab, and boom, now they have their digital lab up. And then we work on it, and they get everything done, and then boom, we push back to Nearpod. So I incorporate Go Formative all the time within Nearpod.
But this is better presentation.
Yes.
Presentation.
Yes. And then remember what I said, I think it was a week ago or 2 weeks ago, about pacing whenever you're giving a lesson, right? You always want 2 slides to 1 activity, or 2 slides to 1 video. Or if it's a slide that's really quick, at least 2 minutes to one action. So we would go there to 2 slides, and boom. And then slide, and then I go really quickly through Venus and all these guys, and then boom, video.
Dear Tim and Moby, what's a Martian?
So there's a
From Bean. Yeah, a lot of you have been asking if Moby's a Martian. A Martian is someone or something that comes from the planet Mars, the 4th planet from the Sun. Moby doesn't come from Mars. Actually, he's from...
We don't have notes. Can you hear it?
Yep, right here.
Moving on. Mars is known as the red planet because of its reddish, iron-rich soil. It has 2 moons, Phobos and Deimos, which are probably captured asteroids from the nearby asteroid belt. Out of all of the planets in our solar system, Mars is probably the most similar to Earth. It's only about half the size of our planet, but Mars has sea...
I used to use Pear Deck a lot as well. This just feels more comfortable for me, and it also feels easier for the first-time user to use. Just to me. I mean, if you're a big-time Pear Deck person and you see it's like, well, they're very similar, stick with Pear Deck. I think they're great. But for me, especially with integration of Classroom now and a lot of the things that this company is actually doing, they listen to the teacher. I mean, you go at Nearpod and say, I saw your thing, I would love this. And they will do it. Oh, yeah. I mean, I sent a note to Nearpod and said, look, I need a mute feature, like in Classroom. Because I have some kids, when we talk about the outer planets and they hear the word Uranus, and I tell them to draw your favorite planet, some pictures come up that shouldn't come up. I need a mute feature so that won't happen. And the CEO emailed me back, said, what are you talking about mute feature? So I walked them through, well, here's the situation, here's the reasoning, and it just helps them understand that if they do something wrong, there's an immediate thing that's going to happen. And he's like, oh, okay. Oh, that sounds like so they're actually going to start implementing that. I'm not saying because of me, but because that sounds like a good idea. So, you know, a lot of times you have these, you know, people that hear about the classroom, but they don't know about the classroom. So we are the ones that give that good feedback. And so since you're the tier audience, they will listen to you tons. I always tweet these. I tweet Kahoot all the time. I tweet Nearpod all the time. And I tell all my presentation people and all my students, tweet them and let them know who you heard it from so they can send me more free stuff. I want more free t-shirts I can give away. But
they monitor what you're downloading because they will email me free K2 Nearpods now. Hey, I haven't seen you on there for a while is what I've been getting. Here's a few free ones to try.
And for any school, even if you don't have the education account, if your librarian gets on Nearpod and requests digital citizenship, they have to give it to the librarian for free because they're considered the on-site tech person for, not tech, but library technicians, right? And so they get, because I guess it's their union, they get free digital citizenship stuff. And they've teamed up with Common Sense Media and have tons of great mini lessons on digital citizenship. It's great. And so if you tell your librarian to do that, because they can get that for free, and then she can like just share her account with teachers, and they can all do it.
So just to let you know, on the app, you know, it's still playing everything. You just couldn't do the note version. But when you went on the website and did the request desktop, yeah, you got the notes and you can type So on the desktop version. Oh, it works not.
I'll have to try it on the student.
And I'll ask why the tablet version, the app, it doesn't have the notes. I'll ask, and I'll do the thing like, hey, we bought the educational version, and we all have apps and tablets.
Christine, do we have Nearpod as an authorized app? Because Geo Brooks was telling me that it wasn't there, that it had been deleted on the launcher.
So Secure Launcher went haywire this week, so everything is gone. Everything should be back.
Well, she just told me, I have not used it, but it looks like a great tool. Can you embed your Kahoots? I didn't see probably we did this. Did you embed your Kahoot on the Nearpod?
I put on the web page Kahoot.it, and I just opened up a new tab with the Kahoot code. Yeah. Kahoot doesn't have an embed director.
Oh, am I supposed to be drawing?
Yeah, if you have a drawing, if you have the option to draw, and then hit send.
I was drawing, but it distracted me. It was a quick draw.
But why would I be showing you? I mean, I'm showing you Nearpod because it's a great way to implement that with the on-air to get multiple students at the same time. But why would I be showing this to you in a course called multimedia in the classroom? Why would Nearpod? Because we're using multimedia. We're using video. We're using drawing. Right? We're using websites that you can take them. This is a complete multimedia interface if you want to make it that. It could be as simple as just dragging and dropping your pre-made PowerPoints just so the kids can see it. It can be as in-depth as being your entire day put into pace. And the great thing about it, like I said, is up at the top, you have the on-the-fly features. Like you're like, oh, this would be a great time to ask them this question. Well, that's fine. You come up here to the Nearpod, and boom, is it an open-ended question you want to ask? Is it another drawing? Are you talking about the atom and they're not quite getting it, so you want to see if they know what it is? Do you want them to draw it? Do you want to input just an impromptu slide? Do you want to do a quick true or false? So you can do the impromptu stuff right away, and that just came into play 2 weeks ago, and it was working pretty well. But with the drawings, look, I can come in here and click, and I can up here and show it to you. But I can come down here, and now those of you that are drawing right now are going to be upset. Yes, I know. And it pushes out. Because when I say you get 1 minute to draw, you get 1 minute to draw. Okay? But then I show it. Now, here's the thing. You have this picture on your tablet. Everybody does. Now, imagine you're sitting in, and that's mine. It's everywhere. In their mind, they are on TV. In their mind, they are on TV because it's on their device everywhere. And at first, they may be a little embarrassed. But then, as the instructor, I say, that is a fantastic answer. And absolutely, we are the only known planet with liquid water on it, and without that, there would be no life here. And so, since we do live here, that should be your favorite planet. So, Chrissy, that is a fantastic drawing. I love your answer. Great job. And now, wow, good. And then what do I get? Show mine. Yes. And my favorite is that little kid that didn't want to do anything, sitting there going, hey, show mine next. That is equity in their learning.
So in my case, I didn't finish because I'm a slow learner. So,
slow drawing. That is another thing that I'm going to talk to them about because I don't mind them getting kicked out while they're drawing. I do mind when I bring them back that their drawing no longer exists.
Yeah, because
I do mind about that. So I am asking about if I bring it back, if it brings back theirs, if it could be like in a draft mode and they can come back.
Yeah.
So I am definitely going to be. I'm asking about that as well. But you can see the power of this as well.
It is.
So I'm going to show you one more thing.
Can you send back my drawing, so I didn't follow directions? Because that's what Christopher would have done to me. Up at the top.
Oh,
Can you send it back to him and say, you need to draw?
No, but you said you put that was good because you put an image.
Because that's what Christopher would have done to me.
I love it.
Images are fine, right? Because I asked you to draw, but in the drawing option, there is a picture option. You're just using your resources.
Yeah.
And that's a great
So it would
idea.
just be open.
So can you
Right?
go back and push it out or no?
Right,
can
that
you
would be
send
like,
it
that's a
back to me?
feature like a mute feature or push it back. You can't do that
Okay.
at the moment. Yeah, that's another great option to be asking about.
Yeah, or the kid that it's gonna, I can see you some of my high school kids being kind of funny.
And when you're ready to end the lesson, and here's the great thing. Sometimes you plan way too much, and you're not done with your lesson. And I made a huge lesson, and I've had to cut it into 3s. So you can end it at any moment, and the next day you can start it again, and just fast forward to where you left off. And it starts again, and it still creates a report. So if I end the session, and I click end, right, we're over, I can come into my home, reports, and I can find the lesson that I was doing, the exact day and the exact time I did it, how many students were in there. I can come in and see how they did statistically. I can come into any of the quizzes that we did and see their answers, any of the polls, any open-ended, and any drawings. And I can come back and see their drawings again.
I'm so using this.
Everything.
You're saving me headaches.
Okay, you stop now because we have too much. I want to do both of these things.
Yeah.
Now. Wow.
Now, I know, I want to show you one more thing, and I'm just going to let you loose the rest of the time, just to play around. And if you're wondering what the discovery is for this week, okay, there's 2 things you can discover. One is, are there any other things like Nearpod out there, and then pros and cons of it, or is there any other thing out there like Zaption? I want to show you Zaption and give you your free account tonight, and I want you to play around with that too. So those are the 2 things.
Week, right?
Yeah, Zaption. I'm going to show you right now.
But that's not due for our discovery tool. This was for the, is that what it's due?
It was a 20-minute video. It's a 20-minute video.
I'll have to.
Another tool to.
Yeah, it's another tool like that.
Oh, like Hangouts. That's what I did. Okay. So that's fine.
You got me scared.
If you'd rather do this, go ahead, because you can. I mean, that's the benefit of being in the live class. We can change things up quick. So, yeah, so I did have the Hangout one,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
if you
'cause
would
that's
like
what
to
this
find another one for the discovery, now the project, same type of thing. If you want to find another thing that will record live like Hangouts, you can do that. Or you can do the Nearpod, but I kind of want the same thing. It has to be like a 20-minute full-on lesson that you would teach. So if you do choose Nearpod, I would like to see how you would set the slides up and what kind of questions you would ask. And then if you do that, I would like you to post it on your blog as homework. And let me show you how to do that. So if you do decide to do a Nearpod or something like that,
I think I'm lost here. So we need to do this
for the
Instead of
project.
discovery.
But instead of the,
Well, there's the discovery, and then there's the weekly
So
project.
do this instead of the project of where you're. Okay.
You have either or.
I would like to.
If you want to do the other tool to record, definitely. If you want to use this, you may use this as well.
But is this for this week or
It's for this
the-
week.
For
That-
assignment number 3.
Assignment number
number 3?
Yes.
Okay.
Can
Yes.
we record this doing? Well, no,
Yeah.
I would have to have multiple. If I wanted to do it with my entire 5th grade team,
You would just have to get them all set up with on air, and
then I would need 50 or whatever licenses.
that's
right?
true. Yes.
So then I would-
Or you can just do it. You can do a Nearpod and record live on air, but just to your class, right? Because then you can record it while it's happening, and so I can see it happening in real time. You can do it that way as well.
I don't have. I'm a coach. So I don't have a class.
Or you
So
can
I'm
have
gonna
you can
do
go
it
into
with
somebody's
theirs.
class
Go
and then
into
do
some
theirs.
classes and do theirs for
Mhm.
them and then record that.
Yep, you can do it that way
Okay.
as well. So for the project, any of those are perfectly acceptable.
And that's for the final project.
No, that's for this
Well,
week's
that's the-
this week's
For
project.
the
Do it
final,
quickly,
you still want us to use
Yes.
Zaption.
Or
As
would you
the-
rather have a lesson?
As long as the entire lesson is 20 minutes, because I want you to hit
All the-
the over 15 minutes so that you know that your on-air works, or it would work if you recorded on air.
Okay.
Okay? I would like you, if you're comfortable with it, if you are presenting with something like it, I would like you to try to do it on air, just so I can see that it's working.
Yeah.
But if there is like a glitch or something's not working, I don't want you to fuss over and be like,
So do you want the AirPod presentation?
whichever one you want.
So, do you think we need a microphone kind of thing, or what?
You know, I wouldn't. I mean,
you didn't need one.
I mean, it
Say
depends
would
on.
or wouldn't?
It depends on where you're going to be for the majority of the lesson. I mean, for me, I'm all over the place, and I guarantee you it picked up my voice wherever I went.
Yeah.
If you have a tablet and you're doing it, the microphone on the tablet should be fine. But I don't know if you can do the on-air hangouts from the tablet. We have yogas, so my teachers now just walk around with their yogas, except the wireless things cut in and out all the time. So that's.
I know what yoga is.
But let me show you the homework option, because this one's pretty neat too. If you come in here and you click on your assignment, you have the option for live session, and that instantly puts it on the screen and the kids type in live and then you have control. Or you can click on homework. And what this is, it creates a single code, it never changes, and the kids can come on at their own time, at home, or during class, and they can go through the lesson, and then they have to stop at the videos and watch the videos. They have to answer the quizzes. They have to do the drawings, and you get those reports as well, saved and ready for you. And you can push this to classroom. So at the end of the day, all right, class, your homework tonight, make sure you're in classroom, make sure you click on the Nearpod homework, and make sure it's done by the next time I see you. And it's boom, it's all right there. So if you do a Nearpod, I would like you in your blog to post it as a homework so I can look at it and take some of your quizzes and questions. And so how would you do that? You just post this. Say, Nearpod homework, post those, and I'm done. Or post your link right here. I'm trying, yes. Yes. Yes.
I'm going to be out next week.
Yes. This works perfect if you're going to be having a substitute. Or like I used to have blocks. Now I don't have blocks anymore because I'm. But I used to record on Tuesdays, and then I made sure that I had to be gone on a Wednesday, and then all I would tell my sub, press play. Everything's recorded.
Joe, on your computer, once you're recording, so it would be on the YouTube tab?
Yes.
Like, so when you decide to end it?
When you decide to end it, you're still in your Hangout. You go back to your
you
go back to your Hangouts, and you click on at the very bottom. You click on Stop Recording. That'll stop broadcasting live, and then you take the little phone up at the top and click End Call, and then boom, you're done. As soon as you click End Call,
it goes automatically on your YouTube.
It goes automatically on your YouTube.
If you're on your Google account, we're going to check it out. You can sign in too.
So if you go to sonsoftechnology.com and then you click on YouTube More Than Videos, I have your Zaption code all for you. So if you click on your More Than Videos, here's your Zaption code. If you click there, it will give you a free pro account for Zaption to play around with. And I want to show you some things with Zaption. Zaption is pretty neat. It's like Nearpod, but for a video. Right? So think about Nearpod, what Nearpod did. Nearpod took a presentation and allowed you to insert activities to break the presentation up. Zaption allows you to take a video, and at any moment that you feel like the kids need to be asked a question, you can insert a question. If they get the question wrong, it rewinds them back to the point they need to watch. They watch it again, and they have to answer the question again. So let me show you Zaption. It's pretty neat.
What's your thing?
So sonsoftechnology.com, and then you click on YouTube, not just for watching, More Than Videos.
Jill, one of my coworkers, I think she attended your presentation, and she said that she showed me an Ed puzzle yesterday, which is the same concept. She said that she tried both, and that she thought that Ed puzzle was a little bit easier to
It's
use.
easier, yes. Ed Puzzle is easier. Zaption has more features, control features. So for Ed Puzzle, if they get the question wrong, they still get to move ahead.
Oh, I
And
see.
for
So
Zaption, they get the
don't-
question
okay,
wrong.
So that would be the difference.
You can choose to have them continue, or you can choose to make them
Okay,
rewind.
because she couldn't tell me exactly why she thought that Edpuzzle was better.
No, the interface for Edpuzzle is super simple because it has limited features. Zaption has a lot more features, but it is a little bit more technical.
Do you have our free code?
Yes, if you go to sonsofTechnology.com
Yeah, I'm there, and then
and you click on YouTube More Than Videos,
Deception. I'm on Deception.
and then you click on the link that says zaption.com/reg/Joe60, that gives you your free thing. So you type in your name and password, or you can sign in with Google. That's what I recommend, and it will instantly give you your free pro account.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So by clicking on that link, it automatically takes you to a free pro account. So here's an example. So let's play this. And the great thing is, can you attach this in a Nearpod? Yes. So instead of the actual videos that we were showing, you can make them watch it themselves, and they have to answer these things in order to fast forward. So it gives you a instruction at the beginning, tells you exactly what to do, so the kids know exactly what to do. They click play.
I have spent my entire life either at the schoolhouse, on the way to the schoolhouse, or talking about what happens in the schoolhouse. Both my parents were educators. My maternal grandparents were educators. And for the past 40 years, poverty, low attendance, negative peer influences.
Boom, pops it out, so it pauses. So which of the following do you think are most likely reasons kids drop out of school? And if I didn't fast forward it, she said she gave her reasons, and then you would choose which one, and then you'd click submit.
And I can put this Zaption video.
We know why.
Yes, so you'd put it as a video, you'd put it as a web link.
As a web link.
And they go to it and play it.
And then they have to answer these questions as they're watching it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that we never discuss or we wretched, George Washington Carver says all learning is understanding.
Boom.
Relationships.
The thing you want them to know.
Everyone in this room has been affected by a teacher
topic,
or
the
an
main
adult.
idea pops out
For
them.
years, our kids don't learn from people they don't like.
And then we pause. Another question. Do you agree that kids don't learn from people they don't like? Right? And so right now it's set to just your opinion. But if this was an actual question with a definite answer, and you selected the wrong one, it would rewind you if you chose. It doesn't default to rewind because it doesn't know where you would rewind to. In the actual setup, it'll say, what do you want if it's the wrong answer? Continue or rewind? And if it's rewind, what time? You put the time, boom, it's all set. You can also lock it so you can't fast forward. So you notice how I go fast forward, fast forward? You can lock it. Oh, okay, then I'm going to I'll switch over. But so I want you to play around with Zaption. And the best way to learn it is playing around with it, just because they have so many features. I want you to play around with Nearpod, and I want you to, before you leave, make sure you know how to do an on-air hangout. Okay? So, it is 6-something. I want you to take a break, step away from your devices, go get a break, get some fresh air, jump up and down if you need to, and then come back and then just play around, plan a little bit, just do what you need to do.
Okay, Joe, a question. I don't like me. Mute me.
So see how I stopped the broadcast, and then I hit on the phone, and it says your Hangout on air is now over. You may see this now uploaded to your YouTube channel. I click close, and that is all you do to record a video for your class.
So when you were still talking, I exited out and I tried to join back and I couldn't see your screen. When you were still recording, I accidentally got out, and when I tried to come back to your presentation, your screen was not there.
I'll have to look into that and see why that could be.
Okay.